Canto 2, Chapter 5, text number 31. The cause of all causes, title of the chapter. Taijasatu vikurvanad Indriyani dasabhavan Jnana Shakti Kriya Shaktir Buddhi Pranas Chatai Jasho Shrotram Twagrana Drigjiva Vagdor Medrangri Payava Taijasatu vikurvana Indriyani dashabhavan Jnana Shakti Kriya Shaktir Buddhi Pranas Chatai Jaso Shrotram Twagrana Drigjiva Vagdor Medrangri-payava Taijasatu vikurvanad Indriyani dashabhavan Jnana Shakti Kriya Shakti Buddhi Pranas Chatai Jaso Shotram Twadgrana Drigjiva Vagdor Medrangri Payava Taijasatu vikurvanad Indriyani dasabhavan Jnana Shakti Kriya Shaktir Buddhi Pranas Chatai Jaso Rotram Twagrana Drigjiva Vagdor Medrangri Payavaha Taijasatu vikurvanad Indriyani dasabhavan Jnana Shakti Kriya Shaktir Buddhi Pranas Chatai Jaso Rotram Twagrana Drigjiva Vagdor Medrangri Payava Taijasatu vikurvanad Indriyani dashabhavan Jnana Shakti Kriya Shaktir Buddhi Pranas Chatai Jasa Rotram Jnana Drigjiva Vagdor Medrangri Payava Taijasatu vikurvanad Indriyani dashabhavan Jnana Shakti Pranas Buddhi Pranas Chatai Jaso Shrotram Twagrana Drigjiva Vagdor Medrangri Payavaha. Ladies. Taijasatu vikurvanad Indriyani dasa bhavan. Jnana Shakti Kriya Shaktir Buddhi Pranas Chitejasa Rajam Dvajnana Jigjiva Bhagda Medrangi Payava Kurvanad Indriyani Dasha Bhavan Jnana Shakti Kriya Shaktir Buddhi Pranas Chitejaso Atram Tvagana Jigjiva Bhagda Medrangi Payava Taijasat Vikurvanad Indriyani Dashabhavan Jnana Shaktir Kriya Shaktir Buddhi Pranas Chataijasa Shlotram Tvagrana Jigjiva Bhagda Medrangi Payava Taijasat by the passionate egoism to but Vikarvanat transformation of Indriyani the senses Dasha 10 Abhavan generated Jnana Shakti the five senses for acquiring knowledge Kriya Shakti the five senses of activities Buddhi intelligence Pranaha the living energy Cha also Taijaso all products of the mode of passion Shrotram the sense for hearing Twak the sense for touching Grana the sense for smelling Drik the sense for seeing Jiva the sense for tasting Vak the sense for speaking Doho the sense for handling Midra the genitals Angri the legs Payavaha the sense for evacuating by further transformation of the mode of passion the sense organs like the ear, skin, the nose, the eyes, the tongue, the mouth, the hands, the genitals, the legs, and the outlet for evacuating, together with intelligence and living energy, are all generated. Please repeat. By further transformation of the mode of passion, the sense organs like the ear, skin, nose, eyes, tongue, mouth, hands, genital, legs, and the outlet for evacuating, together with intelligence and living energy, are all generated. Srila Prabhupada's purport. The living condition in material existence depends more or less on one's intelligence and powerful living energy. Intelligence, to counteract the hard struggle for existence, is assisted by the senses for acquiring knowledge. And the living energy maintains himself by manipulating the active organs like the hands and legs. But on the whole, the struggle for existence is an exertion of the modes of passion. Therefore, all the sense organs headed by intelligence and the living energy, prana, are different products and byproducts of the second mode of nature, called passion. This mode of passion, however, is a product of the air element as described before. So here, Narada Muni in this chapter is inquiring from Lord Brahma about the various elements and the various components within God's creation. And he also suspects that Lord Brahma is not the ultimate creator. We learned that Lord Brahma is secondary creator. So who is the ultimate creator? That he's inquiring into. And all these various elements are also being described. The prana, the senses, the working senses, knowledge-acquiring senses, 10 senses. These are all creations of Krishna by his omnipotent energy. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate natatchamascha vyadikascha drishyate. Sarvasya shaiva svabhavaki jnana bala kriya cha. Vividhaiva shriyate svabhavaki jnana bala kriya cha. It's described in the Upanishad that Krishna effortlessly, without any effort, he can do anything with any one of his senses. He can eat with his eyes. We know that Mahavishnu simply breathes out the plenary portion of Krishna. He simply breathes out innumerable universes during the creation of the material world. And then he enters into every universe as the Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. Uttama Purushatvanya Paramatmeti Udaritaha Yoloko Trayamavashya Bibharti Avyaya Ishvaraha. 15th chapter, Krishna is telling Arjuna that above the Shara and Ukshara, above the fallible and infallible spiritual being, the little tiny little jivatmas, he says, Uttama Paratastvanya, I am above them and transcendental to the living entities. And Yoloko Trayamavasya, I'm maintaining all the planets. How? I enter into all these planets. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagyata vyaktamurtina matstana sarvabhutani maite teshu chapyam. Nachayat stani bhutani pasya me yogamaishvaram bhutabin. Nacha bhutasto mamatma bhutabhavanaha. He says, declare my mystic opulence. Although I am in everything, everything is in me. And although I'm maintaining everything, and I'm the creator of everything, still I'm not in there. How is that possible? Achintya Veda Veda Tattvam. Simultaneously one and different. So Krishna by his Shakti, his mystic power, he's in every atom. Ata Adano Chantara Paramanu Chantara Stam. In the Brahma Samhita describes that Krishna is in the atom and between the atom by his Vishnu potency, his Vishnu energy. Kshirodaksha Vishnu who is lying in Svetadweep on the bed of Sheshanag. He expands himself, and Prabhupada gives a kind of analogy that the sun, the globe is not here, but we feel the sun's rays. And if you go to the globe, the personality, the sun god, is different from the globe itself. So that's a kind of a gross analogy of how Krishna is spread everywhere. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagata vyaktamurtina matstani sarvabhutani mahitete chapyam. He's telling Arjuna his powers, his potency, his mystic abilities. And yet, Queen Kunti says, although all these universes lie within you, in your belly, as Mahavishnu, still you're lying in the lap of Mother Yashoda. How can I understand this? Please give me the intelligence to understand this. So, therefore Krishna says, Jananam punya karmana tedvanva mohanik. After many, many pious activities, Jnana Deepena, I will give you knowledge from within. Prakshaksha Vagamam Dharmyam Rajavijam Rajaguyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam. Prakshaksha, from direct perception within the heart, one starts to realize who is God. God is a person, name is Krishna. His phone number is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sharva Shaktis Tatarpita Niyamita Smarne Natala. Itajisa Teva Kripa Bhagavan Mama Pi Dudaiva Midrisami Hajani Nanaraga. That the holy name of the Lord and the Lord are there, dancing on our tongue when we chant the holy name every single day. People want to know what is meditation. Here it is, Cheto Darpana Marjana. Simply chanting the Lord's holy name, and he has invested all his powers and potencies in this name. The power to create, the power to maintain, the power to destroy. The Lord, Nanavatarama Karot Bhuvaneshu Kintu, Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramapumanyo, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. That when the Lord appears, actually all the avatars are within him, although there's billions and trillions, unlimited amounts of avatars, appearing like waves on the ocean. Nana Ramadi Murtashu Kalaniyamena Tishtan Nanavatarama Karod Bhuvaneshu Kintu. So who can imagine, who can conceive Achyuta Krishna, Achinta Guna Swarupam, inconceivable. So, unfortunately, the world in Kali Yuga is overrun by the atheistic scientists. Srila Prabhupada, every single day on his morning walk, would try to inspire us to destroy the atheistic philosophies and the atheistic strategies, the atheistic conspiracies to declare that God is dead. This is their motive. And where is it coming from? Actually, it's an emotional problem they have. It's like we're born with predilections and taboos. So they have a predilection towards atheism. It's an emotional problem. It's called epistemology. In philosophy, there's something called epistemology. Why do I believe what I believe? Why do I know what I think I know? So their epistemology starts with molecules, atoms, and the laws of physics. We don't see God, and we only accept those things which we can reduce down to its basic building blocks, matter, and the laws that govern it, called reductionism. So the tools of modern science, reductionism, positivism. If I don't see it, it doesn't exist. Therefore, they promote this idea that from matter you get life. Molecules give rise to life. Of course, they've been working on this for at least 1 century, if not more. In 1953, they had the Urey Miller experiment in the laboratory where they passed some electricity through some ammonia and they got some amino acids. And, oh, look, we're producing life. But actually, the honest scientists, there's a few of them, they admit that we're further away from synthesizing life in the laboratory than in 1953, because the more they drill down into the cell, which is extremely complicated, highly complicated, more than you can imagine complicated, the more they discover what they call the irreducible complexity of life. So one time Prabhupada said in simple terms, the scientists, their brains are perspiring to produce life. They can't even produce 1 kernel of rice. So our business is also, Prabhupada encouraged the scientific-minded devotees, intellectual devotees, to create a revolution. Tadvag visargo janataga viplavlo yasmin pratishokum avadavati api. That this Srimad Bhagavatam, although it may not be perfectly grammatical, is handed down by the great acharyas and sages. Grinanti Gayanti, Shinvanti Gayanti Grinanti Sarava. And these words are creating a revolution within the lives of the world's misdirected civilization. First canto is described by Sukadeva Goswami. So we are the revolutionaries. We're creating a revolution, and we have a huge mountain to climb. Because all the, what we call the knowledge elites, they are promoting, headed up by people like Richard Dawkins, Lee Cronin, and various other, what they call the new atheists. Richard Dawkins came out with a book recently. It sold millions of copies. It was called The Blind Watchmaker. And in the book he says, although the world seems to be designed with all its intricacies and its complex nature, microbiology and so on, and DNA information systems within the nucleus of the cell, he says it's simply an illusion. We must remember that this all happened by some random and unguided and and undetermined and random interaction of molecules under some basic laws of physics. And we're just products of this in this world which has no value, no purpose. If we're just products of matter, then we have no purpose in life. And what is the social fallout from this? We see in America, the leading country in the world, or they think they are, everyone's imitating the West. Suicide rate amongst young people has increased exponentially. Mass shootings and killings of young people in high schools and primary schools. Another new phenomenon in America. The young people go into school and they think they're playing video games and they kill their peers. All these things are eventualities of this atheistic theory, atheism. And they simply, they just shrug their shoulders. Oh, this is life, you know. Just a few molecules got killed. I met a big scientist in Mumbai in 1986 during the World Congress for the Synthesis of Science and Religion. His name was George Wald, and he was a contemporary of Albert Einstein, and he was friends with Albert Einstein. But he was influenced by the Hare Krishna movement. And many other scientists have been influenced by the Bhaktivedanta Institute, which was inaugurated by Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj and Srila Prabhu and other intellectual devotees. And in his lecture he said, if I'm playing chess with a computer and the computer beats me at the game of chess, does it feel happy? If I'm going shopping in the shopping mall and the motion sensors open the door for me, does the door resent opening for me? He's asking these questions. He said, as a scientist, we can't address what is consciousness. So he was an honest scientist. We don't know what is consciousness. But just as a person, an ordinary human being, I think they're speaking about Brahman. So, in the 14th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, 12th chapter, Krishna talks about the Brahman. Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasya vyayasya cha shasvachasya cha dharmasya sukasya kantikasya cha. Krishna says this Brahman effulgence, consciousness, he says, I am the foundation. Pratishta. I am the foundation of this Brahman, of the souls, of the consciousness. I am the foundation of that Brahman. It's 14th chapter. So, yes, Krishna, he is the Nitya Nityana Chaitanas Chaitananam Eko Bahanam Yo Vidadati Kaman. So he is the foundational personality. He has these incredible potencies, and he is the source of Brahman. The effulgence of Krishna's body is the Brahman, which people are aspiring to merge into, and which evades modern scientists. They don't know what is consciousness. I sometimes will ask the professors, do you love your family? I love my family. Can you show me love under a microscope? And, well, not sure. But they continue to cheat people. They're cheaters. We have 4 defects. The senses have 4 defects. Always an illusion, propensity to make mistakes, cheating propensity, and one more. Forgetfulness? No. Huh? Imperfect senses, yeah, that's the one. Imperfect senses. So Krishna has made this material body, the city of 9 gates, as we learn in the 4th canto. Puranjana, the inhabitant of the city of 9 gates. So they have these 4 fallacies. Make mistakes, imperfect senses, always an illusion, and cheating propensity. So sometimes they order chemicals from a laboratory, pristine chemicals. Where are you going to find that in a, historic situation, primordial situation? Where are you going to find purified chemicals? And then they take it to a multi-million-dollar lab, and they synthesize, and then sometimes they run out of product, and then they have to call the lab again, and then they have to trace their lab notes to come up to, they want to create some of the building blocks of life, carbohydrates, proteins, and so on, lipids, nucleic acids. These are the 4 building blocks of life. And they have been unsuccessful in producing, even these synthesizing in a laboratory, these 4 building blocks. What to speak of getting to where you have a living cell, which is like a factory. So, asatyam apratishtam te jagada huranishvaram aparasparam sambutim kimanyat kama hoitukam. So, Krishna tells Arjuna in the 16th chapter, he says, there's 2 types of human beings in the world. The divine and the demoniac. The Daityas, the Davanas, just like Duryodhan. Even when Krishna in the assembly hall in Hastinapur, when he went there, he said, just give the Pandavas just one village each, you know. And Duryodhana said, yes, head of a needle. I can't even give him enough land that could fit on the head of a needle, right? He's demonic. He's, the Danavas came to him and the Daityas and said, listen, we're going to empower you. You're meant to take over the world and, you know, promote evil, darkness, you know. So Krishna was there trying to convince the brothers of Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra and so on, you know, let's have some reconciliation here. Peace is better than war. And Duryodhana said, just tie him up. You know, tie this fellow up. So Prabhupada said, although Krishna walked the planet and he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not everyone knew he was the Supreme Absolute Truth, Supreme all-pervading, all-powerful being, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Adi Purusham. So obviously Duryodhana didn't know, and he tried to tie Lord Krishna up. And then Krishna manifested his Virat Rup, just like he did in the Bhagavad Gita, 11th chapter. He shows his Virat Rup to Arjuna with many, many different creatures, many demigods, many various beings, serpents, all types of beings. Sarva Yonishu Kuntaya Murtaya Sambhavantiye Tesham Brahma Mahadyonir Aham Bija Pradapita. He says, all the different species of life, I'm the seed-giving father. I'm the seed-giving father. That's what we accept. One time, devotee said, but Prabhupada, they're asking us for proof of the truth of Srimad Bhagavatam, of the Vedas. Prabhupada said, our proof is the Guru Parampara. That's our proof. And one time the Minister of Education in the beginning days came to meet Prabhupada, the West Bengal Minister of Education, and Prabhupada just treated him really badly. His servant said, Prabhupada, it's the Minister of Education. Prabhupada slammed his fist on the desk. He said, that is not education. Simply nescience. Nescience means ignorance. They're ignorant. So, Krishna says, apohanam cha, that he'll cover the demoniac with ignorance. Moga shamoga karmana moga jnana vichesishaha rakshasim asurim chaiva prakriti mohinim shita. So I cover these demoniacs with my external yoga, my maya. They get covered by these modes of nature. So they think, chintama parimeyam cha pralayantam upashita. They think to engage their senses in selfish gratification is the ultimate goal of human life. Therefore, Krishna says there's no end to their anxiety. And they're moha jala. They're like fish caught in the net. Patanti narake sutro. And in the next verse, the next line, Krishna says they simply glide down to the hellish planets. Ahani ahani bhutani gachantiya yamalayam. Maharaj Yudhisthira says, step by step, everyone's going to see Lord Yamaraj. You have you have an appointment with Lord Yamaraj, unless you're wearing kantimala and tilak and chanting the holy name on your tongue. You have an appointment with Lord Yamaraj. In fact, they don't wait. If you think you're going to be late for the appointment, he sends his constables, like described by Lord Kapila Dev, and they come and take his subtle body out of his gross body and drag him down the road to hell, the Yamasadhana. There's a picture of Srila Prabhupada looking at the 5th canto, and he's looking at the hellish planets. And he's got this big smile on his face. He's smiling when it first came out. He's smiling. Because unfortunately, these creatures, these demoniac persons who actually are controlling what people learn in universities, what people learn in schools, you know, they still have these models, primordial soup model. They have no clue how you can have slithering creatures coming out of a primordial soup. They have no clue, but still they're cheating by putting it there. So unfortunately, they're very unfortunate. And we have been made fortunate by Srila Prabhupada. Very, very fortunate. And therefore we have to, as Prahlad says, so chetato vimukha chetasa indriyartam maya sukayam baram udvahato vimudhan. Vimudhan, that these poor souls, they're being misguided by these foolish leaders, demoniac leaders who control the entire world. And therefore, Prahlad Maharaj says to my dear Lord Nrsingadev, my only lamentation, soche, tito vimukha chetasa indriyartam, is that their consciousness is submerged in sense gratification, submerged in selfish desires, which is the cause of suffering. That's described by the Avaduta, the 7th canto. Shoka moha bhaya krodha raga klevya shama. It says all these things like lamentation, illusion, attachment, fear, poverty, yanmula srunayam jayat spriham, intense desire to try and enjoy the material world. That is the problem. So the senses, Krishna is very kind. We have free will. Krishna says, you want free will? You want to enjoy the world? Go ahead, try. You know? But he says to Arjuna that those who have demoniac tendencies, some people who we as Madhyamadikaris have to go and approach, they're innocent. They're being misguided, but many people are questioning the leadership of our world. And they rebel against it. A lot of young people, they're rebellious. Wherever, whatever country it is, you have rebellious. They're questioning the going paradigm, the going model, you know, the going formula for life. Pavarga, that's their formula, called Pavarga. It means material existence. Pa, fa, ba, ba, and ma. Right? Dharmasya hi apavargasya nartotaya pakalpate. Nartasya dharma ikantasya kamolabdaya hi smitaha. Pa. Parishrama. Hard labor. You got to work hard. What are you Hare Krishnas doing? Sitting around the temple? Where is your money coming from? You got so much money. Prabhupada, someone was challenging Prabhupada. Said, yes, we have so many vans in Europe, in America. Yes, we have so many palaces in Europe, in America. And Krishna is supplying. Yoga kshemam bahamyam. So pa, they work very, very hard. Parishrama, fanila, frothing at the mouth. They work hard, but there's no real satisfaction. Famous song by the Rolling Stones. I can't get no satisfaction. So, pa, fa, ba, barishrama. No, bhyartita. Bhyartita means disappointment. Yeah, let's have a family, let's raise our children. Kids become like vagrants, breaking an entry, shoplifting, going into schools and shooting their peers. They become disappointed with life. I worked so hard, but I have nothing to show. I'm not very happy. So the whole social fabric is in chaos, as Prabhupada said, because of ignorance and godlessness. The entire world is submerged in chaos, chaotic society. And in some of his purports in the 10th chapter of Srimad, 1st canto, Maharaj Yudhisthira was the ideal king and so on. One of the purports, he said, what is the use of topless, bottomless passion? What is the use of sending men into the battlefields at the whims of one leader and sending them into dark factories, ugra karma? Then he said, simply a dungeon of demons. So he ends the purport. dungeon of demons. So, this is the problem that we have to uplift. That is our duty. The Srila Prabhupada is causelessly empowered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Shakti Vinanahe, to enlighten us and lift us out of this horrible samsara, this ocean of suffering, Kali Yuga, Kalir Dosha Nide, the ocean of misery. And so it is our obligation to fulfill his desire to alleviate the suffering of all living beings. Patita Pavana te hetu tava avatar mosama patita pavo. Narottam Das Thakur is asking Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please be merciful. So we have to exhibit, express, and feel the mercy that the great acharyas are trying to express by delivering through Srimad Bhagavatam, through Bhagavad Gita, through the process of Bhakti Yoga, Yat Karoshi Yadashnasi, that we use our senses only, exclusively, in the service of Guru and Krishna. Otherwise, we pull them in like the tortoise, right? Second chapter. Pull your senses in like the tortoise. And then use them to become Krishna conscious. It's called Purascharya, which means Pancharachaki Vidhi. Sanatana Goswami established sadhana bhakti, early morning rise, attend Mangalarti, Tulsi Puja, Nishinga, so on. So we become very strong, keep the mind under control. The mind is very powerful, right? Pramati Balavadridam, Arjuna says. The mind is obstinate, strong, Balavad, Dridam. It doesn't want to do what you want it to do. It wants to do its own thing. And then, once being empowered and enriched with Krishna consciousness, we can actually help the fallen souls by distributing Srimad Bhagavatam Purana. Prabhupada wants that these books go in everyone's home. Everyone should have this incarnation of God in their homes. Incarnation of God. I was going door to door a few years ago in the West, Canada, and these people opened the door. Big guy. He drives trains, big trains. He's an engineer. And he was interested. And so he couldn't, he had some problems with one of his children who had a serious health problem. Anyway, I said, okay, some of the Bhagavatams I got sponsored, so he took the Bhagavatam and Gita for a donation. Fast forward 2 years, Christmas Day, they called me from Canada, and the wife was sobbing. She said, my husband's read 8 cantos, and he's a changed man. He used to hunt animals, because that's what they do in the West. They go hunting. They have big, big guns, and they hunt. And he was this avid meat eater. She says he became a vegetarian. He's read the 8 cantos, and he attends Zoom classes on Bhagavad Gita. And she says, not only did it save our family, it saved my marriage. And she was sobbing. So these are some testimonials of what the Srimad Bhagavatam can do, what these books can do. Transform people's lives, you know. And we don't know, we're just trying, you know, blindly trying to please the great acharyas, see what happens next, you know. But it's been predicted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Pritiviti Achayatano Garadigram Sarvachapachara Hoibi Moranam, that every town and village will know about Gauranga Mahaprabhu and the Sankirtan movement. This is the movement that will deliver the world from the darkness of ignorance, right? So he predicts it, and he's God himself. So it's got to be true. Although nothing is easy. Prabhupada used to say devotional service is very, very difficult. It is not easy, especially surrounded by materialistic, even here in India. Everyone's imitating the West. Everyone wants to, they drive here in their Toyotas. You go to Calcutta and all the students I see are smoking. You know, degradation, Kali Yuga, the age of degradation, that they're, although they have this massive, you know, heritage, spiritual heritage. You know, God walked here as Lord Ram, then he walked here as Lord Krishna, and then he walked around here as Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya. For all we know, Lord Chaitanya probably walked past this area right here where this building is. Who knows? Probably. God himself, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Holy Dham. So, we simply have to be savyas, as Krishna tells Arjuna, savyasachin, be an instrument. Be an instrument in the service. The 6 Goswamis, Sanatana Goswami, they were extremely humble. Trinadapi Sanichena, you know, like Sanatana Goswami wouldn't walk in front of the Puri temple where the pandas were coming out because he felt that he was part of the Muslim culture. Dabir Kash, you know. And so he'd go in behind the temple on the beach, and the sand was so hot, we know the pastime, that he got blisters on his feet. But Lord Chaitanya was very pleased that he was very sensitive to social norms and cultural norms and so on. And when they approached Gauranga Mahaprabhu in Varanasi, they put straw between their teeth. And they said, we have no qualifications. You know, please give us your mercy, Rupa Goswami. So in this way, they exhibited how to become an instrument in the Lord's service. Trinadapi Sanechena Torore Vasa Hishnuna. Amani Namana Dena Kirtanaya Sudahare. What can we do? The great acharyas are giving us an opportunity to do a little something for Lord Chaitanya's movement. So you have to continue on in this mood. As Bhakti Siddhanta said, when you wake up in the morning, beat the mind with shoes 100 times. And before you go to sleep at night, take a broomstick and again beat your mind with shoes. Like this. So yeah, in the Vedi Bhakti stage, there's Vedi Bhakti and then there's Raga Bhakti. Sadhana Bhakti is divided into 2 stages. So the Vedi Bhakti stage is mechanical. We mechanically force ourselves to wake up 3 o'clock, 3:30, go to Mangalarti. And Kapila Dev said to his mother that those who see my images on the altar, and who chant to meditate and glorify or worship these archa vigraha, it's the same as the yogis in the Himalayas who are meditating on Supersoul within the heart. So that is actually Krishna there. Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Krishna, Radhamada, they're actually there. So the Mangalartik darshan of the deities, it's actually as good as the yogis meditating on Vishnu within the heart. You're seeing Vishnu in the heart, basically. Very powerful, very purifying. It's described by Kapila Dev. And we know that there's a verse, Kriteyad Dhyayato Vishnu, that what you could accomplish after 10,000 years of meditation in Satya Yuga and in Treta Yuga, Tretayam, Yajanam Makai, by performing big yagyas in Treta Yuga and Dwapara Paricharyayam, and by doing deity worship or doing Aswamedha yagyas and so on in Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kalaryad Dharikirtanam, just by chanting these holy names of Krishna in Kali Yuga, the Maha Mantra under the guidance, of course, of the bona fide acharyas, not some apasampradaya. Like I met some apasampradayas yesterday here at the bookstall, and they were Sahaja. Oh, we're part of the Sahaja Sampradaya. And they chant Hare Krishna, But they don't accept Krishna as God. They say Guru is God. Like Rajneesh or one of these guys, they say they're God. You know. Another demoniac quality described by Krishna, Yage Dashyami Modesha Iti Agyana Vimohitaha, 16th chapter. Idam Adyamaya Labdam Imam Prapshe Manoratam Asomaya Hatasha Churkonos Chi Shajishamaya Ishvaraham Maham Bogi. I'm the Supreme, I am God. Siddhoham Balavan Sukhi, I am perfect and powerful. Everyone should bow down to me. So we have a few minutes. That clock says 4 minutes before 9. My clock says 1 minute before 9, so we'll go with the... So any... Yes?
They get purified. These are Hajiyas, that they chant Hare Krishna, but they don't believe Krishna is God. But still they chant Hare Krishna. They get purified.
The question is, do they get purified by chanting Hare Krishna? That's like a double-edged sword. Of course, the holy name doesn't wait for initiation, and it does purify. At the same time, Sanatana Goswami quotes a verse, Shruti Shriti Puranadi Pancharatriki Vidiridam Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Upataya Vakalpate. That knowledge or scripture, which is given by people who concoct the meaning of scripture, is simply a disturbance in human society. So when they promulgate, when they're exponents of, you know, chant Hare Krishna, but you know, you're God, I'm God, the Guru's God, Krishna's not God, it's actually a disturbance in society, and they're misguiding people. They can misguide the you know, people at large, the public at large. So in that way, it's condemnable. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he condemned them as pakandis, right? Mayavad Shunile, pakandi, that this impersonalism and all these false philosophers. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled through South India, going to different places, he converted all the various philosophers, 7 main philosophies in India, the Buddhists, the Jaiminis, the atheistic Sankhya philosophers. He converted them all to Vaishnavism. And he destroyed their philosophies. He broke their philosophies to pieces. Krishnadas Kaviraj says he broke their philosophies to pieces while traveling through South India. So, okay, you get benefit. But it's also poisonous if you preach to people this atheistic philosophy that you're God. It's an atheistic philosophy. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you might as well live in a cage with a tiger than associate with impersonalists and these people. So my answer is a little nebulous. But our business is to destroy all these various speculative ideas and philosophies that are not authorized by the Parampara system. We represent Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Sampradaya. Chincha Veda Veda Tattva. Question? Almost time, but yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the inspiring lecture. I now again realize that I have many of those demoniac tendencies in my heart. Maybe you can give some advice how to deal with them.
Can you speak a little slower? I didn't understand.
Sorry. I now realized again that I have many of those demoniac qualities in my heart. Maybe you can give some advice how to deal with them.
In the Nectar of Instruction, their advice is given. We have many enemies, you know, and many things to avoid. Atyahara, prayashascha, prajalpaniyamagraha. There's also ways of associating with devotees, and there's the 6 positive qualities, habits we may have. Utsahan nischaya dhiryat, tat tat karma pavartanat, sangatyaga suto vrite, sadbir bhakti pranashati. Enthusiasm, patience, determination, following the footsteps of the great acharyas, avoiding the association of non-devotees. These directives are given by Rupa Goswami in the Upadeshamrita, which we have to embrace. Atyahara prayashascha, things to avoid, like that. So yeah, the heart, the mind is always trying to take the foot off the gas pedal. You can take it easy. You've been a devotee for 25 years. Time to hit the cruise button. But until we attain more advanced states of Krishna consciousness, we have to be very, very careful and continue with determination, enthusiasm, and patience. And also avoid the various 10 offenses. The first offense, sadhu nindana, committing offense mentally, verbally, and physically to any devotee. Any devotee, doesn't matter. New devotee, neophyte devotee, more advanced devotee. We have to avoid offending these devotees. Jiva hinsa, cleansing of the Gundicha Mandir. Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada quotes him as describing the different types of weeds, types of dust, dirt, and little pebbles and pieces of sand in our hearts. Jiva hinsa, envy of other living beings, envy of devotees. This is one of the problems we face, is envy. Advaishta sarva bhutana maitra kuna evacha. In the 12th chapter, Krishna describes what pleases him. Advaishta, non-envy. Sarva bhutanam, of all living entities. What to speak of devotees? Offenses to the spiritual master. Minimizing the position of the great acharya. Sometimes people do that. Sometimes they think they know better than Srila Prabhupada. You know, huge offense, huge offense. Criticizing the acharyas, big offenses. So what happens is, you know, temporarily a person's devotional service may become paused, maybe pause. You see so many devotees, they drift away from the determination to continue in devotional service, they drift away. Yeah, I did that for 30 years, I'm okay. I'm going to get some sukriti from that. No, Prabhupada always urges us to try and perfect this one lifetime, perfect our lives, you know. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very merciful, extremely merciful. Krishna was killing all the demons, Bhomasura, Jara, you know, all these demons, Kansa, so many demons. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was giving his mercy to Jagai Madhai, who were murderers and rapists, right, and thieves. So like that, Gauranga Mahaprabhu's mission is a mission of mercy, of compassion. And devotees take all kinds of risks. Some devotees have been killed in the course of duty. They risked their lives and lost their lives in the course of duty to please the acharyas and spread Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement and establish this movement, because without establishing this movement in a very powerful way, Prabhupada said, your civilization is doomed. Unfortunately, that's the case. And Prabhupada even predicts nuclear war in the 16th chapter, Bhagavad Gita. Etam justam avastabhyo nastalpano pabudaya prabhavanti ugrakarmana shayaya jagato hitaha. That they destroy their own society, and so many people will be burnt by these nuclear weapons. If we don't try to offset that, you know, try to make an effort to divert this imminent threat of nuclear war. And there's so many nice devotees everywhere. I used to have a little shop in America, state of Washington, and it was near a base, you know, a big military base. And so I was checking on them, see if they would recruit me. And they were showing off on their monitors, you know, all these state-of-the-art military things, you know, and they say, yeah, we're going to get the Russians. And it's just a brainwash. They're you know, who's our enemy, you know? And so there's propaganda. And in other countries, oh, we're going to get, you know, we're going to get the Indians, Pakistani. We got, you know, this is, like Prahlad Maharaj says, dear father, your only enemy is your own mind. So there's these animosities built up by different nations and even different communities, different ethnic groups, different religions, so much animosity because of Kali Yuga, because of the influence. But devotees, we see they're servants of Krishna, whether they're in Africa, whether they're in Russia, whether they're in China, whether they're in America. We see that we're all a big family, Prabhupada's family. He built a house in which the entire world could live. And we see that all wonderful devotees from all over the world come to Mayapur. Beautiful, effulgent devotees, happy to chant the holy names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and his devotees. Hare Krishna, thank you.